Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, I'm joined with my co-host, Jim, over at OSR Garage.
Hey,
We're going to be
everybody.
talking Fisker Ocean One. We got, how long is it, Jim? It's almost 24 hours, almost less than 24 hours, right? Oh, wait, we got something real cool to show
Yeah.
people. Let's throw something up here.
All
We've got
right.
this little cool timer countdown on the Fiskerati site at the very top. It says Fisker Ocean One pre-ordering in 1 day, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and 9 seconds.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. Yeah. This stream tonight for all you, it's all about Fisker Ocean One. We're going to be kind of celebrating the milestone that Fisker has here to allow people to pre-order on July 1st. If you're a Fisker investor, a Fisker reservation holder, a Fisker stakeholder in general, you're probably pretty excited, just like we are. And tonight we're just going to rap about Fisker Ocean One. There's really no agenda. We're just going to talk. So if you have a question or a comment or something that you like, something you want to chat about, there is a chat. Right now we're streaming on the Fiskerati YouTube page. We're streaming on the OSR Garage YouTube page. We're streaming on Facebook Live. We're streaming on Twitter. So there's a lot of people that could potentially join us and a lot of people that'll watch this video after because we're recording it as well, aren't we, Jim?
Yep. That's what we do.
That's it. So let's kind of do a quick recap. Where has Fisker kind of come from the last couple of years? So we're coming up almost on 2 years. On July 13th, 2020, Fisker announced that they were going to go public through a SPAC merger with the Spartan Energy Acquisition Company or Corporation, and that's kind of when they started, blasting the PR, telling everybody about what they were doing. It was a very public event. All their milestones have been public. They announced their strategic cooperation with Magna International in October of 2020. And that's who's actually building the Fisker Ocean, and specifically the Fisker Ocean One. And then the company ended up announcing a couple more developments with Magna. In January of 2021, they ended up saying that they were going to do joint development on the Fisker Intelligent Pilot. And then, fast forwarding a little bit through 2021, they ended up finalizing their contract manufacturing agreement with Magna. So Fisker's been pretty busy with the Fisker Ocean program. And then there was the unveiling of the Fisker Ocean, if you remember that, Jim, over at the Los Angeles Auto Show. That was middle of November. And they said, hey, this is the Fisker Ocean One. It's going to be our launch edition. And we're going to have 5,000 of them. And go ahead and reserve your Fisker Ocean. You potentially could get one of these Fisker Ocean Ones, and a lot of people reserved. That's when we kind of saw the hockey stick growth, which we'll talk about later tonight, when they ended up going to that auto show. And then not long after, they ended up doing their European debut. And that, I believe, was end of February, beginning of March over in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress. And we fast forward now to from that would be February 2022 to now, the present. Beginning of June, the company announced that they had more than 50,000 reservations for the Fisker Ocean. So there's a lot of excitement. And then the company announced, hey, pre-orders start on July 1st. So there's a lot of very excited people that are probably watching us right now.
Yep. And hey, Brian, we see you.
Hey, we got some people. Very cool. There's currently looks like 69 people watching us from around the world. That's pretty
awesome,
fun.
Guys.
Yeah, very cool. And we got some people chatting. So the cool thing is all the comments, whether you're on Facebook or you're on Twitter or you're on YouTube, all the comments come streamed to both Jim and myself so we can see everybody from all the different platforms. So feel free to say what's up, and we'll include you in the experience here. Cool. So Jim, where would you like to get started? Is there anything you want to talk about? Should we just talk about start off talking about the special features on the Fisker Ocean One?
Yeah, I think everybody, in my videos, I talk about how the Extreme and the One are basically the same thing. There's just a few little differences to let everybody know that you have one of the first production. So yeah, I think we ought to hit on some of that stuff so that they can see those special little features that they're going to get off of those.
That's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and throw something up here. So we did a post, as you guys probably remember, earlier in the week. We've done a couple posts. We're kind of dedicating this week to on Fiskerati to Fisker Ocean One. We're excited. We'll talk about kind of where we are in the reservation queue, and but we're still excited as stakeholders, reservation holders, shareholders, all that, whatever, asterisk holder. We're one of them. So the Fisker Ocean One, it comes with 4 very special features. There's this commemorative digital signature. It may animate, it might do something fun, but this particular digital signature is going to be on that 17.1-inch display. And when you enter the Fisker Ocean One, it's going to do some magic on the screen and probably make you excited, make you feel special, make you feel like, hey, I'm an early adopter. I'm somebody that ended up taking a chance, and I'm a pioneer. I'm one of the first, as they're calling, the Fisker Ocean One, the one. So that's kind of the first thing. What do you think about that the commemorative digital signature, Jim?
I think that's pretty cool. It would really be cool if it has the number of the production car on there. Like your number 24 of 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that they're going to do that. I think I read
awesome.
they're going to do that. They're going to number each one of these, just like baseball trading cards or whatever, like Upper Deck. If anybody knows what Upper Deck is, that is a trading card company. And on some of the cards that they released in the past, they did number them, 1 through 1,000, 1 through 100. So it's going to be kind of like a collector's item, I think. This Fisker Ocean launch edition.
Yeah, I think especially you go back, you look at older vehicles, and whenever they become more popular and you get into those old muscle cars and people are looking for those, the thing they're looking for is a certain number of production. And if you get that, what they call the Holy Grail, one of how many ever, or one of 2,500 or something like that, that they find that car, and that car is worth a lot. So it would be pretty awesome to be able to get into your car. If you get one later on, you get a used one somewhere, and you get in that Ocean One, and it pops up there and says, "Oh, you're number 2 of 5,000."
That's right. Yeah, it'd be kind of like buying the first, number 1 of 100 of the NFTs that Fisker offered. So Fisker ended up doing some Fisker by hand NFTs. And those are collectibles, and there are people who are selling. I think number 1 is currently for sale. Not that anybody will pay this amount, but I think it's 18,000 Solana, and that's quite a lot of money. I think that trades at like $60-something, per coin, and that would make that particular NFT quite expensive. I would say probably more expensive than a Fisker Ocean One. So yeah, that's another thing. Like, will this digital signature actually become a NFT? So what if I own the Fisker Ocean for 3 or 4 years? I want to upgrade to some new car, like the Ronin maybe, and I don't need the Fisker Ocean One anymore maybe, and I sell it. Do I get to keep that digital, commemorative digital signature? Is it an NFT? Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
That could be pretty interesting. So let's go to the next feature. The next feature is this badge, this Fisker Ocean One badge. You think, oh, it's just a logo on the steering wheel. That's not really, but it actually is kind of neat. Because it's kind of a showcase kind of throughout the car. I don't know if you noticed on, which we'll get to in another slide here, that Fisker Ocean F3, the 22-inch F3 slipstream wheels also has the same branding. And it also makes me wonder, actually, does the no, we'll actually get to it. I'm not going to say I wonder. I actually already know the answer. But that particular badge is kind of showcased around the car. It's very unique to the Fisker Ocean One. It's this grayscale Fisker logo. And if you can notice here on the screen, that Fisker badge is actually surrounded by what looks like a fabric texture. And that fabric texture is kind of like a nice luxury touch that the company has put front and center as you drive the car each day. So this thing's gonna be staring you in the face. Yeah, it's super nice. So let's go ahead and check out the next signature feature that they're doing here. That would be the Fisker 22-inch F3 slipstream wheels. So you can see there on the center part of the wheel, you have that same badge that was on the steering wheel. And that badge, once again, it looks like to be grayscale, and it's surrounded by I don't know what's the right way to call it, like the geometric shapes of the wheel, the design of the wheel. It looks kind of like, I don't know how the best way to describe it, but it looks kind of like a throwing star in a way. And it has those really cool carbon fiber inserts that I don't know how they actually put in there. I don't know if they glue them in there, if they just pop in there. But
yeah,
I'm
I'm not sure. I don't know how they build wheels exactly. I know sometimes they use them on a machine and it's actually just completely cut out. But I think they use recycled carbon fiber in these. So, I'm not sure exactly how those are put together.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. There's little specks of carbon fiber. We did a post about that, and we kind of blew up an image that Fisker provided in their press room, and you can see the little flecks of recycled carbon. It's actually quite neat. And then they must have figured out some way to kind of press it to keep that texture of little bits of carbon fiber. So these are going to be pretty special. And what's going to separate these particular F3 slipstream wheels from other ones is that little emblem that you see in the center. It looks like that grayscale is going to be on the interior, on the steering wheel, at the center of the wheel, as the other F3 slipstreams that we've seen pictures of just have the sunset Fisker Ocean logo. So it's got the orange sunset, the blue ocean, whereas this has that very nice, tasteful grayscale. Hey, I'm a luxury launch edition. I'm special. I'm one of 5,000.
Right.
So that's kind of neat. That's what's going to separate them. And I think Fisker mentioned at the beginning of June that they were going to allow customers, reservation holders, who actually, when they pre-order. So after the Ocean One, we know that's going to be the Extreme. It's then going to the Ultra, then it's going to the Sport, right?
Right.
And this slipstream, according to Fisker, they're going to allow everybody to get the slipstream. However, some people who say maybe want this, that have want a Sport or an Ultra, they may actually have to pay up for this particular wheel. We don't know what that cost is going to be. We know it comes for sure on the Ocean One and the Extreme. But the difference, once again, between the Ocean One and the Ocean Extreme is going to be that badge in the center. So that's special feature number 3. Special feature number 4 is the beautiful Malibu Interior. So this interior is, it looks to me like it's sustainable from everything that I've read. I've actually never sat in it.
Yeah, it's not the best picture because it is supposed to be a blue color, and you kind of see it a little bit on the seat portion of it, but the back and everything, they've got that purple glow going on in there, and it kind of makes it hard to
kind of
notice.
feels like we're at a rave or something like that. Not that I've ever been to a rave, but it's kind of got that rave vibe going with that purple hue or violet hue, whatever that is. But these are going to be recyclable as well. Everything's going to be sustainable. The seats and different trims. So the carpet, the seats, parts of anything that's rubber. A lot of that stuff is going to be recycled water bottles. It's going to be upcycled T-shirts. It's going to be rubber waste from the Bridgestone tires. They're going to try to mold all that stuff to make this sustainable interior. And that's kind of what attracted me originally to Fisker, was the mission that the company had around sustainability and actually being one of the first companies to just say, hey, we're going all in on this. By 2027, we're going to have 100% carbon neutral vehicle, and that's pretty remarkable. They're kind of a pioneer. As I talk to you, and I've talked to other people, I previously worked at Amazon, and that's one of the things that attracted me to Amazon was their mission around ESG. They wanted to be the world's most customer centric company, and in order to do that, they ended up focusing on a big portion of their business on ESG related themes, and that's what kept me there while I worked there, and this is what attracted me to Fisker. So I don't want to totally digress because this is all about the Fisker Ocean One, but that's what totally attracted me to this vehicle is the sustainability factor.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice. I can't really say that that's kind of what attracted me to it.
Sure.
We just happened to watch a YouTube video, and my wife's like, "That car's really awesome." And so then I started checking it out, and then I was like, "This thing is just going to be awesome. It's going to outperform most of the cars in its class." And with having Magna building it, I think it's just a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want one?
That's right. That's right. So those are the four features that make this special. Now, this car costs the same price as the Extreme, so $68,999, and that excludes any of the federal incentives or the tax incentives. Some states offer tax incentives, like here in California, as well as there's the federal tax incentive tax credit. Hello, Anthony from Nashville. So we have people from all over the United States watching us right now. Hello, everybody. There's a couple questions too. Yeah, do you want to take some, Jim?
Well, I'll just read off this first one. Franklin Sands says, there's so many concerns about tomorrow. Will we have any recourse if after we put down our deposit and after we get into the car, we have a deal-breaking issue? I think you were touched kind of on that maybe in one of your other videos.
So I can't see Franklin's question, but you read it. So it's really around, hey, you could be one of the first 5,000 that ends up pre-ordering the Fisker Ocean. And what if the car isn't what I thought it was when it's delivered? As we all know, a lot of people who are going to be pre-ordering, they're going to get the email on Friday. Are they going to get the email at 12 a.m. on Friday morning, 12:01? Is Fisker going to do them at 8 o'clock? Who knows when they're going to send them out? But once you pre-order, you're going to end up having the chance to purchase the Fisker Ocean One, and you're likely to make that commitment without driving the vehicle, without sitting in the vehicle, driving the vehicle, touching the vehicle, experiencing the vehicle. Because there are no experience centers right now, are there? Those were supposed to come out, I think, in summer. They got pushed out to November. So a lot of people were anticipating, hey, I'm going to sit in this thing before I actually take delivery, maybe end of November, December of this year. Some people will take delivery if they're one of the 5,000, say in November, December of this year, January, February, March, possibly of 2023. Might actually go. Who knows how many they're gonna produce each month. The ramp might be slower, but they're gonna eventually get to the to their full ramp. I think in mid-June. We actually wrote an article touched on that really briefly today. But yeah, the concerns. So going back, I'm gonna kind of talk about the company that I previously worked at, Amazon. They're very well known for hassle-free returns. They're all about the customer, the Earth's most customer-friendly company, and they have their A to Z guarantee. Will Fisker offer an A to Z guarantee around the Fisker Ocean One, and maybe some of the Extremes, right? Who knows? That worry-free guarantee, like, hey, you're gonna love it, or we're going to give you your money back, because we know, the next person on the reservation list is going to be happy to take your car.
Right. And I don't see why they wouldn't do that with this flexi leasing thing that they've got. That basically you just have it till you want it and you turn it in whenever you feel like it. I can't imagine that they wouldn't do something, with the first cars. Why, if you didn't like it, why you couldn't just, okay, here, you can have it back. I'm not happy with it. I think somebody would be crazy to do that, but it happens.
People are crazy, right? Hello, people. I think it's hello from the beaches of Delaware. Thanks for joining. Hello, Thomas from Chicago, for joining your reservation holder. Awesome. So speaking of reservation holders, here we go. Here's the reservation chart as of, I think, June 8th. That's when Fisker released their latest investor presentation. And I just went through this the other day and uploaded a YouTube video. So if you haven't seen it, If you did see it, I apologize. At minute 16 through 23, I'm learning the software here, and I muted myself. And people are probably like, I hear background music, but I don't hear anyone talking. So, you can get a lot of this investor presentation in that. But this slide in particular, you see those two little boxes on the screen. We have the what is that? It's June 30th, 2020-ish, somewhere right around there. That's when Fisker hit their first 5,000 reservations. And as we know, Fisker Ocean One is going to have 5,000 units, numbered, as you said, Jim, 1 through 5,000. So how many people is it going to take to fill all the pre-orders? That's a question that I have. That's a question that many people have had. There was somebody who put a poll over in the Fiskerati forums earlier. I think it was this week. We then, narrowed the margins. We tweeted it out. We needed more data, but here we go. We're going to talk about that briefly. So the 5,000 to 6,000 range, is somewhere between June and July 2020. The interesting thing, Jim, is that second date that I call out there with the arrow. So Fisker Ocean One announcement. That's the that line on the graph there. That's the Los Angeles Auto Show in 2021. So that'd be like November 17th, I think, is when this release came out, or somewhere thereabouts. And Fisker said, hey, our launch edition is going to be called the Fisker Ocean One. It's the one. It's the first one, actually, is what they used. And it's the first one that's going to be rolling off the line. And that means if you look at that line and go all the way back to November of 2019, all those people, all those 18,000 people, never heard of the one.
Right.
They didn't know it was $68,999. They thought it might be $40,000 or less. So that $37,499 for the Sport came out. I don't know the date on top of my head, but I know it was well after the first 5,000 people registered, and it was somewhere closer to that 18,000 range. So it makes me wonder, how many people are actually is Fisker going to have to contact to fill those first 5,000 units?
Sure.
Who knows? They're going to start with number one and roll through the 50,000. It's probably like 53,000 by now, reservation holders, because this was back on June 8th, and Fisker's been tracking about 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 reservations per week. So we're close to probably 53,000 since it's like 3 weeks. Exactly 3 weeks from today. So it'll be interesting to see how many people it'll take. And, we had that question and we're like, let's go to Twitter and find out. So we asked people, how many reservation holders will it take Fisker to fill 5,000 Fisker Ocean One pre-orders? And we got a whopping 108 votes. So not very much, but believe it or not, we only had like 1,300 followers on Twitter. And that would make it close to 10%. Not quite, but was that like 8.5%, 9%? So we got a good portion, and people think, I'll say I voted. Actually, I didn't vote. I can't vote. It's my poll. But I fall in that camp of 5,000 to 6,000. Where would you fall in, Jim? Where do you think it's going to take to fill those 5,000? Do you think it's going to be over 8,000, like almost 50% of the people who took the poll?
I think I was thinking around between the 7,000 and 8,000. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really wanting that Sport at that lower price, and knowing what they told us with the over-the-air updates, that you would be able to add things onto your car that you may not want, the higher end car, but you want some of those features, and you can buy those separately. That may even push more people into that lower price point.
That's right. Yeah, it certainly might. That's it looks like Cole thinks it's going to be 20,000. Charles thinks it's going to be 20,000 too. So a lot of people think it's going to be a lot more than 8,000. The reason I made this poll so narrow, on the Fiskerati forum, somebody ended up having the poll with like a lot, wider choices. The reason I made them so small is because I think a lot of the, I'm going to actually say I know a lot of the reservations are in California, and the gas prices here in California, we were talking about this last night, Jim, the gas prices here are, $7 a gallon. They're going up. There's like a couple holdouts down the road from us that are like $6.99, like they don't want to break the $7. But $7 is where it's at. In the Midwest, you were saying it's like 5 and change.
Yeah, we bounce around probably around 5 to 550 on the cheaper gas, the 87 octane. But some of the other ones, the diesel I think was up over $6 a gallon. Yeah, so it was about the same price as a premium gas.
So that's why I believe it's going to be somewhere between 5 to 6,000, and we'll find out. We'll find out probably. And how long is it really going to take them to contact 5,000 reservation holders? I believe they said, they being Fisker, said that they're going to give you 7 days to make a commitment. So they're going to send out an email, say on July 1st at 12:01 a.m. It's probably not going to be that time, but that's the countdown clock that we have on Fiskerati.com. So if you want to know exact to the minute when the Fisker Ocean One pre-orders are going to start, check out the site. When it gets to the end, there's going to be a special message that takes over the screen and says like, "Bam! It's go time." But we believe that it's going to be somewhere between 5 to 6,000. But we'll know in a short time, because what they're going to do, give everybody 7 days to confirm. So we'll know the first 5,000 people have 7 days to confirm, and then they'll go maybe to the next 100 or the next 1,000 or something like that. So we'll find out really soon, probably in the month of July, I would have to imagine, if they do this quick. And why shouldn't they do this quick? It's a startup. They're agile. They're nimble. That's what you do when you're a startup. They're a publicly traded startup, but that's what you do.
We got a question over here from Brian. And he says he's asking any info on the testing of the ADAS system that they sent the 3 cars over for. I haven't heard anything, and I don't know that the cars have actually gotten here yet. Have you heard anything?
So there was actually a tweet today from Fisker themselves. And let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll throw it up on the screen. I don't even know if let's see here. They ended up tweeting right here. I'll share this screen, or maybe I'm already sharing it. I am not. Here we go. Let's throw this up. So we're going to actually remove this bad boy too. So there you go. Maybe you hadn't seen that tweet, but it says the first 3 Fisker Ocean prototypes are on the way to the US for ADAS testing. A revolutionary intelligent pilot. They call it Pilot, Fisker Intelligent Pilot. It's a suite of advanced sensors, including the world's first digital radar system. And it creates a cocoon of safety around the vehicle. So it's there you go. So it's according to this tweet here, and I know Fisker mentioned it last week. He said Magna was shipping them over, and I was talking to somebody else on one of the videos, and I said, "Do you think there's over by boat or by plane?" I thought it was boat because he said shipping, but shipping could be airplane, right?
Yeah.
But seeing as they're still, it says prototypes are on the way, maybe it is a boat, because an airplane should have arrived by now.
Well, yeah, you would think.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure.
Or maybe,
but yeah, that's where we're at.
I say maybe Fisker's just planning on parachuting them in. Make a big entrance.
That would be pretty neat. Drop them on the, out into Manhattan Beach, and they land in the sand. And, they got to the first one to get it. Gets to do the testing or something, right? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. But, that sounds like one of the Mr. Beast things. You can line up everybody out there at the beach, so when it landed, everybody just go running. The first one in the car gets it.
That's funny. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? And then we'll kind of keep rolling along. Are there anything?
Somebody, Aaron asked about ground clearance, and everything that I have seen, I have not seen them post anything about the ground clearance. From what I could see, it looks to be just about the same, I think, as around the ID4 to Mach-E range. But I haven't seen any numbers anywhere.
Yeah, let's actually jump into some of the specs, since that's kind of like a spec thing. That would be a good time to talk about Fisker Ocean One and maybe some of the specs. And Jim's actually done some really cool videos. We've posted them on our site. We have a comparison between the Fisker Ocean and the Volkswagen ID.4. We posted that last week, and then just maybe yesterday it was, we posted the comparison between the Fisker Ocean and the Ioniq 5.
Yeah.
And I think I saw some news, and don't quote me, I don't know if it was dropped today or what, but the Ioniq 6, I read something about there's an Ioniq 6 or something like that.
Yes.
So that might have came out today. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I think I saw something about photos.
Yeah,
but this Ioniq 5, your video, like we talked about earlier, the Ioniq 5, like people must be searching crazy for Hyundai Ioniq right now, because Jim's video on the site's blowing up. We've had thousands and thousands of views of it today, so it's kind of exciting. So yeah, Fisker Ocean One specs. Let's talk a little bit about those. You can kind of roll through this, Jim. You know this best, seeing as you do kind of the comparison. But like the ground clearance, I don't see that mentioned here. It's more in like the features and stuff like that, like the battery and the mileage and things like that.
Yeah. And that's something that we haven't heard exactly the size of the battery yet. I'm sure that we'll find that out probably around October, maybe November. They'll release some of that information. But all they have it down as is a hyper range battery, which I could see calling it that if you're going to get 350 miles on a charge. Now the One does come with that solar roof, so that's where it's getting a little bit of that 10 extra miles that the Extreme is, or not the Extreme, but the Ultra is not getting, because they do have the same battery and basically the same setup. Other than that, I mean, the Ultra and even the Extreme and the One, our power numbers and everything are really close to the same. And I think the Extreme and the Ocean have that sport package, which was one of those things that was might be an optional thing for the Ultra, which the numbers on the Ocean One goes from 0 to 60 from 3.9 down to 3.6 in the Extreme and the One. And it also gives that bump in horsepower. So that, I think, is just one of those little package deals that you can get on the Ultra if you want to.
Got it. So what else do you like about the specs? I know you've talked a lot about the Fisker Ocean in comparison to ID.4 as well as the Ioniq 5. What sticks in your head of like, these are the features that I think are really good, or maybe features that excite you, would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, I just think because I just think it's the power numbers. I mean, I know I'm not going to be out drag racing this thing or anything like that. But
maybe you will. It's a 0 to 60 is 3.6 seconds. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. And I mean, it's like
this fast. It's like I step on the accelerator and I'm like, boom, right? Yeah. That's kind of how it works, right?
Right. And I mean, we thought it was crazy when we got on our ID.4 and it only has 200 horsepower. And we're like, it felt like it was 400. I can't even imagine what 550 horsepower is going to feel like, and oof. So, I mean, it's just, with me, it was the power numbers compared to the other vehicles at that same price point, or even their top of the line. And I even made this comment in my last video was, it seems like I said, Fisker's motto is, you pay more, you get more. We give you more. The other cars, it seems like no matter, you pay more for these little features and stuff, but the power numbers, anything like that, doesn't change. And in some instances, they go to all-wheel drive, and then you lose range. And I don't want to lose range just by getting something I think is a little bit better, and you're going to take range away from me. I'm like, no, I'll pay the extra money if you're going to give me more stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of like power, we got this little video here. So here's Henrik himself punching the accelerator, and I'm gonna let you hear what he says. It's not bad in case kids are watching, but here we go.
Please. Whoa! Let's leave the drone in the dust. It's pretty good.
See, check that out. I gotta watch it one more time.
Whoa! Let's leave the drone in the dust.
That's pretty awesome, isn't
Even
it?
the drone in the dust.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. That might have been the first time where he's actually punched it on a test track.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that day actually, he ended up saying that he took the ocean over 100 miles an hour. So that's kind of exciting, right? So maybe he's got that thrill, and he's a thrill seeker, and he
yeah.
likes designing sports cars. And the thing does have massive horsepower, like you said. It has the 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and wouldn't it be cool? He's always said, like, there's stuff I haven't told people about. Like, maybe he's going to have like an acceleration boost feature where you can pay an extra $2,000 or something like the Tesla Model 3. And, maybe the thing goes to like 3.1 seconds in 0 to 60
Right.
or something, or who knows, right?
Yeah,
Um, that's speculation, but it's fun to think about.
right. Yeah, I mean, and Ford's kind of done that with the Mach E. My brother has a GT Performance, and he has a 5 second burst, I think it is. When he floors it, he gets an extra power for about 5 seconds before it cuts back.
Got
And
it.
but he can only do that one time. And I don't know, he said it's one time and then he can't do it again. So if you're like going around a track or something, you do that one time, you're done until you like come to, I think he said you got to come to a stop and then start again.
Oh, wow.
Now that I don't like, and he doesn't like it either because
Yeah, that doesn't
he
sound very
likes to
fun.
go fast. But
Yeah.
so
So
hopefully it might be an option like that.
it could be. It could be. I want to get to some of my favorite features. I think my ultimate favorite feature on the Ocean One, or the Extreme, is probably the solar sky roof. We did a comparison between all the different roofs, the open sky and the big sky, and obviously I think the most premium one is my favorite. I certainly would settle for the open sky on the Ultra, but the solar sky roof is really neat. That's my favorite feature on the Fisker Ocean One. The second feature, I'm actually digging the revolve screen. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but I do like
pretty
the
cool.
idea of the rotating screen. The patent is actually quite interesting. We did an article about it. I don't know how long the patent is. It's many a couple dozen pages, but we pulled the little tidbits that we thought were interesting. And what they have to do to make the thing go rotate and not get your fingers caught anywhere and all that stuff is quite interesting. So that's my second favorite feature. My third feature is probably the California mode. I think
Yeah.
that's neat, seeing I'm in California.
Right.
Why wouldn't you like California mode, right? And if you have pets, you might like it, as well, because the back windows are going to roll down, and your dog can stick its head out the little window, and not have to worry about falling out. And the same with little children. I think I read something like the back windows go down, and the patent actually around the windows. Somebody asked us on the Fiskerati forums about those windows and how safe they were for little kids. And the patent for the California mode windows actually specifically calls out these are kid windows. It doesn't actually say anything about dog windows like it does here on the screen.
Yeah.
So it says like doggy power windows. They actually didn't mention dogs in the patent. They do mention kids though. So they were designed for kids. And to some, dogs are their kids. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, and
So
I can understand you liking the solar roof too, because being out there in California. Now, where I'm at, I'm not going to be. We won't be able to take the full benefit of that because our weather is just crazy. And some days, some weeks it might be 95, and the next week it might be cloud cover all week and not rain once, and then it could be pouring down rain for a week. So you guys will probably benefit more from that than we will. But I still think it's cool, and I still will probably get it because why not?
yeah, why not, right? If you can get the Ocean One, get it. But if you can't, maybe the Extreme's for you. And if the Extreme isn't for you, then maybe it's the Ultra. We talked about the Ultra kind of being like the best value for the money.
I think the Ultra is going to be a lot more popular than what even Fisker is expecting it to be.
Yeah, it's almost like boots on the ground sometimes, knows a little bit more than the people sitting behind the desk.
Yeah.
I'd like to think you and me, Jim, are kind of like the boots on the ground type of people. We talk to a lot of customers. Granted, Fisker obviously has a customer list, and they talk to customers too, because customer development is super important when you're building a
Right.
car. But we're talking to people on social media all the time, and getting feedback in the videos and the the posts that we do. And like you, I agree. I think the Fisker Ocean Ultra is going to be probably the more popular of the bunch, and it might not be in the near term, but in the long run, I think that's going to be the one that sells like hotcakes. And that's also probably why Fisker believes that the average selling price is going to be somewhere in the mid 50,000s.
Right.
Across all their, the Sport, the Ultra, the Extreme, and maybe they throw in the Ocean One there.
Right.
So let's see if we have any questions. Is there anything new that pops up? Someone says, I wonder if the solar panel is worth it in New York City. That's a good question, Keith. I don't know what the weather's like there, but I know you guys have a harsh winter sometimes. I think I see like super storm in the northeast is going to blast New York. So I don't know if you're going to benefit from it in the winter like we would here in San Diego, or maybe some people in Miami, where there's also going to be a Fisker Experience Center, I think, in 2023. So yeah, I don't know if it would benefit you there, but yeah, I think overall, if you can get the Fisker Ocean One, I bet it's going to be well worth the excitement, as well as the money, because there is, it's the premium top of the line. And I should say too, by the way, I'm really selling the Fisker Ocean One hard, but I'm excited about it. It comes out on Friday. I'm not getting paid by the company to do this, and neither is Jim. We're independent, so we speak our mind, and we say what we believe, and we've read a lot of stuff, and we've talked to a lot of people, and this is what I believe. So that's I'm preaching what I believe. So that's it. So if you're questioning like, hey, are these guys like work for Fisker or something? No, we don't.
No.
Nope, not affiliated, not compensated. Like I mentioned, shareholder, reservation holder. So that's it.
Yep, just love the car. I just think it's awesome. I love it, and I like Henrik Fisker. I mean, just
Me too.
his personality.
Such a relatable person. Yeah.
He's just
Super
more
relatable.
personable to people, and he will stand there and talk to you and talk to you like a human being. I think it's Thomas Auto Fuel. I can't pronounce that. He's got a channel, and there's one part where he's going over the ocean, and he does a small little interview, and Henrik just sits there and talks to him and tells him, any questions that he wants to know. And there's some things that he isn't, letting everybody know right off the bat. But Bjorn Nyland, he did one also where Henrik just sat down in the car with him and just had a whole conversation about things. That was really good too. So he's just really personable. I was going to say, unlike somebody else that we know, he just seems like a little more like standoffish. Like I'm too good to involve myself in some of those conversations, but and they don't get along with each other. But I just really like his personality. I think he's done a great job with this car. I think he's wants it to be the best out there, and at an affordable price. That's part of the reason that they're doing these. Add the options on later, and it's not because they want you to spend more money. It's giving you the option to, if you want that lower price point, but you want a couple of these other little features, but don't want to pay that much money for it, then you can just pay those separate. And the way I understand it is that you can purchase those at any time since it's over the air.
That's right.
I think it's going to have like an app store, some type of a store on Fisker store or something on the touchscreen, I'm sure. And you can decide, I want to add the premium ADAS system, and it'll have a dollar amount, and you could pay that and add it to your car. So it may
be a one-time fee, right? It's like a one-time fee. Just boom. I want the 5-pilot, or I want the heated seats. Boom, done. One-time fee.
And that's what they said. They said the car is going to come equipped with everything. They just have to turn it on. So
that's right. And some of the subscriptions that we can talk about would be like the entertainment package. I could see that being a recurring subscription,
Yeah,
very similar to the Tesla Model 3, right? It's like $999 or $995 for the what they call connectivity. So they basically allow me to continue to connect to the internet through the vehicle, so that we can do Disney Plus, or we can do maps, or games, or whatever.
right.
So that'll be like an example of a recurring subscription. And I think Fisker mentioned a while back that he believes that subscriptions are going to be a big portion of the business, and that's likely because of the Fisker flexible lease, which will be out in, he said, end of 2023. So there may be some people who, if we went back to that, reservation holder list, there might have been some people who said, hey, I think Fisker is really cool. I'm one of those first 18,000 reservation holders. I want to get that $379 Fisker Ocean Sport. Well, you're going to have to wait until all the way out till 2023, end of 2023. That's when they're going to make the Sport, and that's when they're going to release the program, and they're going to do it selectively in certain cities because they need to service the vehicles. So yeah, that's it. So I wanted to throw out here, we're like 45 minutes into this, and I don't think we've said once, other than that little ticker down at the bottom, if you've enjoyed this conversation, we still might go. I don't know what Jim's schedule is, tonight, but follow our YouTube channels. Yeah, follow our YouTube channels, Fiskerati and OSR Garage. Follow those. Like this video, please. We love the likes. I think that helps us out with people discovering this. But by all means, follow us. We're going to keep coming out with lots of content if you guys like this. And based on the comments, there's a lot of comments. It sounds so far that maybe people like this. Maybe we should do something like this again. So that's I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me. We could do a weekly thing or something like that.
That'd be fun. And then also, too, you got some other videos that you're going to be dropping, too, over the coming week. You want to talk about those?
So the next one coming up on the head-to-head is going to be with the EV6. So that was going to be pretty interesting. I think the numbers with it are going to probably be pretty similar to the Ioniq 5. They are built on the same platform. So I think a lot of the numbers and stuff are going to be the same. I kind of like the EV6 better than I do the Ioniq 5. But we'll have to see what those numbers look like. And then, if anything else, I also post on about the Ford Lightning. About every 2 weeks, I have put up something about the Ford Lightning, and then I also put up stuff about my F-150 and my our ID4. So I do have a video. It's going to be coming up here in the next probably a couple of weeks, where we actually did a little treatment to the ID4 for my wife's for our anniversary, and did it for my wife. So that's going to be a little special thing. So I'm sure subscribe if you want to see that.
Yeah, very nice. And yeah, that's cool. So let's get back to this Ocean One. Where should we go? Let's do a couple questions and we'll dive in. I got a couple more screens to pull up and go through, I think. So let's see. We have someone said 5-star from Henrik. I'm guessing that's referring to the crash rating that he mentioned on Instagram. So if you guys Fisker left Twitter due to Elon Musk potentially purchasing it. So he's on Instagram. That's probably where he posts a lot. I'd say probably the most, if not LinkedIn. He's also on StockTwits. And then the company themselves, they're still on Twitter. Fisker Inc. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. They're on TikTok. They're blah, 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 all over the place. Just like Fiskerati, we're everywhere that Fisker is, except for TikTok. I can't see myself doing TikTok videos. I'm bust a move, dance, all that fun stuff. I know people don't do that in every video, but that's not.
No, that's not me either. I can't. I won't be on TikTok anytime soon.
Yeah, me either.
Somebody suggested it at work. Was like, hey, put that on there and get some of your content on there. And the first thing I pulled up was somebody dancing around with very little clothes on, and I just was like, no, I'm done.
That's not my thing. We have somebody here talking about the UI. So no comments about UI. So UI is interesting. Do I have a picture of the UI? Let me try to pull up a picture. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that on the fly here, but actually I can. So the UI. So there's been a lot of people in various social media channels concerned about the UI, and the reason they're concerned is because Fisker's going to be coming in hot. If you know what that term is, that means they're going to be coding up until potentially the last minute to the launch on November 17th, right? Henrik Fisker is like, firm date, November 17th. We're going to be on time, on target, on schedule. We're not slipping. The date's not slipping. The date never slips until it slips. Unfortunately, that's how software development works. But I'm not concerned about the UI. I think they're probably in a pretty good place. They've got a lot of building blocks that they're using from various different cloud technologies like AWS and a couple others that they don't have to reinvent the wheel. They're also leveraging a lot of stuff from Cox Automotive, who is a partner of Fisker, and they're the actual world's largest automotive company. It's the same company that does our cable internet, believe it or not. Cox family owns a lot of stuff, including Cox Automotive. And Cox Automotive, the umbrella company, owns Kelley Blue Book, which probably everyone has been to in one point of their life, or has touched the Kelley Blue Book guide, the book that they used to have. And then I can't think of the other one off the top of my head, but they own like a few brands that you're like, oh wow, I know that one. So Fisker gets to leverage a lot of that stuff in their software. So like Dealer Track is one of them. That's I think a wholesaling, like car auction buying company. So Fisker can end up taking your trade-ins, and then they don't have to worry about how are we going to offload these things. We're not in the the trade-in business, but we need to offer trade-ins for your vehicle, for the Fisker Ocean One. So a lot of the people you should know, we have 85 people watching right now. Who knows how many people have dropped off and how many people will watch this in the future. But, you have to give Fisker a little bit of slack, a little benefit of the doubt when, they're working here with the first 5,000 reservation holders. They're not perfect. They're not going to get everything right. There's going to be some hiccups. The UI might not be perfect. The trade-in experience might not be perfect. The financing experience with Chase Automotive might not be perfect. But, over time, it'll get better. Just like the software and the UI, they have, as you mentioned, Jim, over-the-air updates, right? Yeah. So if there's an issue, they can end up sending in a new release. First release might be version 1. They might send in, an update. It might be version 1.01. And then they might continually iterate each week, improve it, get better. That's the business that I used to be in. I did a lot of product management, software development, and that's what you do. You constantly push releases to improve our experience.
Yeah, hopefully they learn from Volkswagen and are not hopefully if they're going to do an update and they say they're going to do an update, you get the update.
And thank you real quick, Cole and Brady. That's what it was. It slipped my mind. Auto Trader. Who hasn't bought an Auto Trader, old school Auto Trader, the paper ones, right? Like your 7-Eleven. I need an Auto Trader. I need to buy a car. I need to sell my car. I got to throw it in the Auto Trader. That's who Cox Automotive owns. They own the Auto Trader in addition to Kelley Blue Book, and then 20 other companies. But yeah, so and there's a couple of questions that came in here.
Yeah, I'm going to drop down to some. There was a couple that came in earlier.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
Let's see if I can find it now. They were asking about Tesla opening up their superchargers, and I know that they've been doing that over in Europe in certain places. They've been testing it out, but in the U.S., the last thing I heard was that if the United States the government was talking to Elon about doing that, and Elon basically said, well, we want you to pay for us to go and switch them over, and then we want some money for you guys using our stuff. So there was a little kind of going back and forth. So I don't know with the US how soon that's going to happen. I do believe it will happen at some point. But right now it's not moving anywhere. EA just did a partnership with Siemens for their Electrify America network. So that is going to put in another, I think, $2 billion into adding more chargers. And
So
I
that's
think
here in the U.S. That's here in the U.S.
yes, and
All right.
I think I just saw that EA was getting ready to open up like 78 new charging stations. I don't know
Yeah, I
where
read.
they're at,
I
but
think I posted just this yesterday, maybe that I looked up some stats. I think it was like ChargePoint has 30,000 plus chargers. EVgo has like 800, and I want to say Electrify America has around to say 850, 875,
yeah,
somewhere thereabouts. The company that I really like, and like ChargePoint's really cool. I have owned that stock. I don't own it anymore, but I really like that brand and how they're everywhere around our town. ChargePoint chargers are everywhere. But the company that I like, and I can't believe Fisker hasn't done a deal with them, especially, maybe they have and they haven't announced it yet, but EVgo, they have a very similar mission as Fisker around sustainability. In their case, it's not the sustainable vehicle, but it's the sustainable energy. So they are going to make it where I believe every single charger that you do has like carbon offsets, so that your energy that you're purchasing for your electrical vehicle is as clean as it can be, which is actually kind of neat. So if you're driving a Fisker Ocean One and you have, EVgo, you're like, helping the planet as much as you can. So I like that aspect. We also had somebody way up in the comments that mentioned something about the Tesla Model Y. They said, what's the price going to be for the Tesla Model Y out in November? So I had to get my crystal ball over here, and let me pull this up. It's this big crystal ball, and it has all the information. And right now the Tesla Model Y is at $67,990, so very close by $1,000 or $1,009 to the Fisker Ocean One in the Extreme. What's it going to be in November? So that's like 5 months away. Geez, I'm going to say over $68,999. It's going to be.
I'm going to say probably around 72 to 74, somewhere in that range. Would be my guess. He seems to be liking to up his prices around $5,000 to $8,000 range, somewhere in there when he ups them. So
that's crazy.
We'll see.
My
thing with the Tesla Model Y and the Fisker Ocean, which that'll be a comparison we'll do later on, but the thing that I've heard, and since you own a Tesla, you can probably chime in on this, but everything that I have heard about Tesla was that their technology is great, but the build quality of their cars and the ride quality of their cars are not always the best.
I actually heard that. I actually read that before placing an order, and I was like, I was like, who cares? Gas is so expensive. I'll take the electric vehicle. That was one of the things. Also, I wanted to help support the EV movement. So I thought, this, unfortunately, the Fisker Ocean isn't out yet, but what can I do to help? Okay, let me get the next best thing. So I got a Tesla. Your next best thing might be the ID4, right? You have an electric vehicle too.
Yeah.
Build quality, I haven't had any issues with it. There was one tiny defect in the paint, and unfortunately, I noticed it, I think, after like mile 100. And I contacted Tesla and said, hey, there's a blemish in the paint over here on, one of the right above the window, a rear passenger window. And can I bring it in to have it fixed or whatever? And they're like, sorry, you have 105 miles or something like that. And I was like, okay, so I have to live with it. So that was, I don't know if that's a build quality thing. Maybe it is. It's not like, attention to detail, but that was kind of like the worst thing that I've seen around quality control quality. So it's like big deal. It's a little tiny blemish, and no one would notice it. But like now that I know it's there, like every time I put my daughter in the car, I like getting her in the car seat. I'm like, oh, there's the blemish in the paint. So it drives me crazy. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, unfortunately. And then the ride, I haven't had any issues, and I know some people have concerns around with the Tesla build quality or the road noise being really loud, and I haven't experienced that. And it's like 9 times out of 10, maybe even like 98 times out of 100, we have the music playing. So it's like I'm not focused on the road noise. I'm more listening to the music. So you know, and we're not doing like cross country road trips yet. Like maybe once we do a cross country road trip, maybe it'll become more apparent. In fact, we did a cross country road trip a couple of years ago, and I haven't told you the story. And maybe people that might be, we have, you know, 88 people watching. Maybe there's somebody from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but we ended up doing a road trip, Route 66 from, we started like somewhere in like, it wasn't Los Angeles, but it was like Palm Springs. We kind of picked up and started going. And we got to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and just outside of Albuquerque, they have a musical road. So in that particular little town on Route 66, you drive like 40 miles an hour. You get to hear that your tires go over a certain line on the road, and you actually get to hear. I can't remember the name of the song, but I remember capturing it on video, or my wife did, and it's really cool. Like we did that like 3 times. Like we got off the exit and went around, and we kept doing it. So it's like there, you know, you might want like super quiet, you know, no road noise, but like you actually want the road noise in this case because you want to hear the music.
I think that's the other thing that throws people off when they get in an EV. They hear people talk about how quiet it is in the cabin and all this stuff, and it is compared to not hearing, because you're not hearing an engine, but you do hear the road noise. It doesn't matter how much they insulate that, you're still going to hear some. And I think in one of my videos I've got a thing where we were driving over little patched areas on the road, and you can just hear da-doosh, 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 da-doosh all the whole time the video's going on, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's some of the stuff that you'll hear. But because you're not hearing that engine, and that usually masks a lot of that stuff that you're not used to hearing. So it's not that it's overly loud or anything like that, but I just want some people that may not have an EV yet to know what to expect. You're going to hear different sounds than what you're used to hearing.
Got it. Okay, I got to pause here for just 1 second. Give me 1 second. I gotta throw this on here.
Oh, hang on. I'll get it.
What's up?
There you go.
Look at that. Look at that. Remember we said we're never going to leave the house without this thing, right? No, we're never going to leave the house.
Honestly, these are probably...
Shame on you, Fisker, right? We're going to say this. I'm going to say shame on you, Fisker, for sending this thing.
Right.
Man, this is an awful hat. But hey, thank you for sending this. And we're saying thank you because we helped some people reserve a Fisker Ocean, and they sent this as a part of doing that. But I wouldn't be caught dead in this thing outside of the house. No. So maybe somebody from the company is watching this. You can look up my contact information on the website. Feel free to email me, contact@fiskerati.com, and maybe you can hook me up with like a nice hat, something that I'd actually wear and feel proud. Feel proud to wear, right?
Yeah, maybe the black one that's actually on their website that they say you're going to get.
Oh, wouldn't that be an interesting thing?
Yeah.
If you like what we're talking about here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and like the video. We're having fun, talking. So let's see if there's any other questions. Charles he says, I've seen the T-shirt and the sweatshirt. Good vibes. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? A T-shirt.
Yeah, I got the
T-shirt. Oh, nice. Look at that. Very nice.
It's pretty nice. Got a little Fisker on the side. I don't think it's got anything on this one, but then it says Fisker on the.
Look at the guns there too. You got the gun show going. Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, I'm only 4 away from the sweatshirt. So if anybody's thinking about ordering, make sure you go check out one of my videos. It's got my referral code in it.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, why not? Maybe they'll throw in a free hat too. That's black, right? Oh, that's funny.
And if you're gonna go to if you guys go to the website, this is something that you guys should do. We need everybody on here, anybody who watches this, go to the Fisker website, go into the contact area, contact Fisker, and tell them to get Fiskerati and OSR Garage to go test drive the cars.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to see us test drive the car, right?
Maybe we get enough people.
Shouldn't they fly us out to Austria in the winter and actually test drive that? Maybe it'll have like all-season tires. We're going to have snow on the ground, and who would want to test drive a car in the snow around that Magna track? Ooh, please.
Yeah. So maybe if we get enough people to go and do that and contact them, maybe they
Maybe
will.
they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Yeah, we have quite a bunch of people watching this video, and then to our site every day, we're getting thousands of people. So we have a lot of interest in what we talk about and what we write, and yeah, maybe Fisker starts noticing. That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Anthony says, yeah, the black hats are nice. Yeah, aren't those? Wouldn't that be nice? I haven't actually seen one other than the website. But no, I'm not buying any merch. I bought my own Fisker stock, and I think somebody said in here, could you talk about the Fisker stock? They didn't say what to talk about, so I'm not going to talk about Fisker stock unless they're specific, because there's lots to talk about on Fisker stock. In fact, every week we write a post about Fisker's stock chart. It's another guest blog, guest article that we post. We talk about support levels and trading levels, trading ranges, trading zones. Even though I personally don't trade it, I'm like, lock it up, in the vault, and let's see where Fisker is trading in 5 years from now. Either it's going to be double from here, triple from here, or maybe it's going to be bankrupt. Who knows? I don't think it's going to be bankrupt. Don't get me wrong, but that's I'm not trading the day-to-day stuff of the stock. It's locked up. It's in the vault. Maybe I'll add more, but I already have a really sizable position. I was telling Jim about it yesterday as we wanted to prep for today. So I think I'm done buying Fisker stock. I think I'm heavily invested enough. And I mentioned today on a YouTube video that I did, I said, I have my ear so close to the ground, and the reason I'm doing this is because I have a big sizable investment in the company, and I want to know everything going on in Fisker. That's why I actually write the articles, because I feel like I know a lot. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I know a lot because I read everything and I listen to everything and I go to every site. And why not share that information with other people? Because I know Fisker said on their shareholder meeting, they have over 300,000 Fisker shareholders. I thought, wow, that's a lot. And then they have over 53,000 reservation holders. And that's, just the Ocean. And then they have like 3,000 or 4,000 probably now for the Fisker pair. So there's a lot of people out there that, want to know stuff about the company, and I enjoy writing. So I thought, maybe I should write articles. So that's what I do. That's my thing. And now you got me into this YouTube thing. So now I'm posting YouTube videos every day, and I'm not somebody that likes to edit. I'm not going to waste my time editing a video like Jim does. He takes a lot of time editing videos, and his wife, loves him for it.
I don't know if I go that far, but
so I write. I'd rather spend my time writing an article than editing a video. So all the videos that I post are going to be live. Apologize it well in advance for the bloopers, because there's a bunch of them, or the uhs and the ands and the so's and all that stuff. That's, it'll hopefully improve. I haven't done a lot of public speaking in a year and a half, 2 years. So hopefully I'll get back into that, and I'll have less of those and all that fun stuff. So let's get back to the cool Fisker Ocean One. Somebody actually had a question about UI. So I wanted to throw up a UI of the vehicle. This is the latest shot that anybody's seen. It was actually part of the investment presentation. And unfortunately, I can't zoom in too much. Maybe I can do this and kind of bring it up a little bit more. But this is actually, you know what I can do? I can do something like this, maybe. Let's try this. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can see that a little better. So this UI is I'm going to say this UI from like a product management perspective, software development, product management perspective. I don't know about the phone. The phone looks too basic to be, final, but the actual software that you see on the display looks pretty, alpha ready. I wouldn't say production ready, but it looks very, very complete. You have all the, somebody who did this put a lot of thought into where each of the buttons are. And really thought about the user interface. I really like how the map is a big portion, like 2/3 of the screen, and then you have the Phi Pilot, all the sensor data up at the top. You don't have on the screen like you would a Tesla, and I don't know what the ID.4 is like. You can talk about that, but the speedometer is right over the steering wheel. So like you're driving, you see it straight on. You don't need to look over that. Sometimes on the Tesla Model 3, it really bothers me having to kind of look. I know it's in the upper left-hand
Right.
corner, right, steering wheel, but like I want to look forward. And I know a lot of people have been talking about like heads-up displays in the Fiskerati forums and other forums as well. And everything I've read, everything I've seen, there's no heads-up display. I don't know if you need a heads-up display because you have the speedometer right in front of the steering wheel, so you don't need to have it like. Maybe it would be a nice to have, and maybe Fisker will surprise us. Maybe there's like a little projector or something on the back of that, but I think that would be overkill.
Right.
But that would be a really cool feature. Like maybe there's some surprise features, but I don't think there needs to be any surprise features to make the Fisker Ocean One special or the Extreme special. I think they're just top of the line luxury all around. And as you can see, we're at, we've been talking now for like, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes. So as we've been talking, we now have 1 day, 3 hours, 14 minutes, and no seconds. Okay, we're on 13 minutes, 58 seconds. So we're like 1 hour closer to the Fisker Ocean pre-order. Now, wouldn't that be funny? And we're not going to do this, but like, wouldn't that be funny? Like, we're going to stay here all the way until pre-orders happen. Hey, can I get some coffee over here? No.
Right.
That'd be something, but like, no, we're not doing that. Like some people stand in line forever waiting to do this stuff. By the way,
you have to call my work and tell them I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, Let me do that. So when did you pre-order your Fisker Ocean?
I actually didn't order mine until April, so we're like after the 40,000. So
like April is in April 2022 or April?
Yes.
Okay.
April 2022. Yep.
April 2022, and I think I ordered mine on September 26, 2020. So I think that would put me around reservation holder 7,200. So based on that poll, if we go back and remember that poll, if I'm right, I'm in the camp that Fisker is going to end up only needing to contact 5,000 to 6,000 reservation holders. I will not be getting a Fisker Ocean One, but who knows? 48% is like 49.1%, if I remember correctly. I think it's going to be over 8,000. If that's the case, then I certainly will have to decide: do I want to spend $68,999? And if we decide to do that, we're going to be selling the Tesla Model 3 to fund the Fisker Ocean One. So that's what we'll do, like a trade over.
Yeah, and if that happens, I'll be on a plane to California. So
there you go. No, because contact
with all my camera equipment.
No, they're going to contact us ahead of time, right, to do the test drive in Austria. Wouldn't that be something?
If we can get everybody to help out.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, everybody contact Fisker if you're interested in seeing us test drive the vehicle. Right to your rad giver. I think that's what they call them, don't they? Rad giver. That is so confusing. I don't know what the heck a rad giver was. Like, why doesn't it just say contact us or like get in touch? I know it's supposed to be like a Danish. I think it's a Danish thing. Rad giver. I don't know what it means, but I think I've read or mentioned Henrik saying it was like. Was it friend, or it's maybe somebody knows in the comments, they can tell us what it is, or I can Google it real quick. But it would be so much easier if it just said like, how can we help? That might resonate with people a little bit more, but who knows? That's I'm overthinking it. So what else? Is there anything else we should chat about? Anything else?
We had someone ask about clarifying the tax credit. So we actually did get our ID for last year, so we actually claimed the tax credit. So I'm going to explain a little bit of how it works, because it is really confusing, because all the manufacturers will say $7,500 tax credit, and they'll base their prices on it. Like, they'll say you can get the Fisker Ocean Sport for $37,500, which after the tax credit makes it $30,000. Now, the one thing I want everybody needs to know is, first off, it is not right off the price, so it's not off the top. You turn it in on your taxes, so you still have to pay that $37,500. Then when you go to file your taxes, it'll be what your tax responsibility is. So, and it doesn't have any effect on what you paid in on your taxes from your job. So it's basically when you go and file your taxes, it says you made this amount of money, so you owe this much taxes, and then what it'll go by if you so let's say if you owe 5,000 in taxes, and your job you paid in 5,000 on your job, so you basically would have came out even. Now that tax credit will knock that 5,000 out, and then you'll get your 5,000 back that you paid in. You don't get the full 7,500. Now, if you work a job where you make you owe $8,000 in taxes, that will wipe all of that except for $500 out. So the $500 of what you paid in at your job will come off of there, and you'll get everything else back. So that's how that works. I know it's a lot of confusion with people. I think right now in Congress, they are still running that new tax credit through that they're trying to get passed. If that goes through, then that is supposed to be moving to a point of sale. And if that does that, that's going to change the game for everybody buying EVs. It's kind of what Ford actually waited to open up their ordering for their first set of Lightnings, because they were actually going to do it back in November, but this was going through Congress at the time, and if it was going to be point of sale, plus they were adding all these other things, it was going to be like $12,500 if it went through, and it would have been at point of sale, and they were waiting because if they did that, if that got approved and that went point of sale, they were expecting people that were looking at buying the Pro, may now buy the XLT because they're going to get it back down to the Pro pricing after the tax credit comes off. So that's not been gone through yet. So right now it's still just $7,500, and then if your state has any other tax credits, that'll be on top of that. But it goes by what you owe, you don't automatically get $7,500.
So I'm going to throw this up here real quick. So this is the Fiskerati forums, and we have, I don't know, a couple, I don't know, 100 and something, 25 people on here. Maybe if you're watching this channel, maybe you want to connect with other people in your community. You can come here, throw questions up, chat. We post to a variety of forums. We set this up just to integrate it with the site. But I posted the reason I pulled it up, I posted today this one right here, electrical vehicle rebates by state. Somebody wrote in and had a question about rebates. And on the Fisker website, if you scroll down on the Ocean page, so like fisker.com/ocean, if you scroll all the way down and you read the fine little print, and it's really fine, you'll see a little tiny hyperlink that says like, click here. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put a post here because I've gotten somebody writing in asking me this question twice. And it's like, geez, I could only imagine how many people are writing into Fisker to ask about, tax incentives and rebates and things like that. So I put the link here, make it handy for people watching. I'm going to go ahead and throw that link in here. Let's see here. It didn't work how I wanted it to work, but let me share this screen now. 1 second, share screen. And here you go. So here is the tax credits that you can look into, or the tax incentives and rebates. And yeah, so tax credits, incentives, and rebates, both federal and state. So this is the link that's on Fisker's site at the very, very, very bottom. You can click it. You can put in your zip code. So I can put in any zip code here. I'm going to put in zip code, and you end up getting, it brings up here, you live in Encinitas, California. Your local utility is SDG&E. So I actually did a video earlier this week, Jim. I was telling you about, we were talking about electricity rates, weren't we, last night? And I said that on peak rate here in California, or at least San Diego, through San Diego Gas and Electric right here, is 42 cents per kilowatt hour. And then if you get their time of use plan, which I recommended in the YouTube video, as well as the blog post or the article, you were telling me, well, we don't have time of use plans out where I live. Everything's cheap here. And I was like, oh my God, I need where you're at. But we get 10 cents per kilowatt hour during super off-peak times. So yeah, you want to check that out when you get your Fisker Ocean One. But if you can pre-order your Fisker Ocean One, I highly recommend you start thinking about your charging experience that you want to have. Do you want to have a home charger? Do you want to use the third-party chargers like Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, or do you want to do a combination of the two? Now, Fisker is going to potentially, I would have to imagine, yes, I said, yeah, I'm basically going to say the same thing that I said in the video. Like, who wouldn't sell something that plugs in without, a charger? I would have to imagine Fisker is going to provide a level 1 charger. It's kind of like table stakes. Like, how could you sell an iPhone without, a charger? How could you sell, a MacBook Pro without a charging cable? It's like,
right.
You expect to be able to charge a thing. I'm going to take my, MacBook Pro over to the library and charge it up, just like I could the electric vehicle. They have charge point chargers over at our library. So start thinking about, the reason I bring charging up is because SDG&E is listed there on the screen. I know we're talking about tax credits, incentives, and rebates, but start thinking about, for your Fisker Ocean One, if you can pre-order and you do get a delivery date, think about and have a game plan on how you're going to charge the vehicle, because chargers themselves, depending on where you're buying one, like Amazon, if you look, I looked just a couple days ago, all the top ones are on back order. So there must have been a huge rush for people to buy chargers. So you want to start thinking about that now, and things, supply chain things may be, totally fixed by November or December or January of next year. So it might not be an issue, but think about that if you do have a chance to pre-order one of the 5,000 and you get that delivery date. Going back to rebates. So here in San Diego County, it says you get rebates up to 6,000 for a level 2 charger. So you go in here, you go to this website. We have it on the Fiskerati forums. You can go to the Fisker site, but type in your zip code and it tells you what you're eligible for. And you see that there's a whole bunch of incentives, in San Diego and California. And then there's the, federal tax credit. Now, not all vehicles are eligible for the federal tax credit. I think it has to do with the company. So Fisker as a company, if they sell, I want to say 200,000 electrical vehicles. And so 200,001, that's 200,001 vehicle will not be eligible for the federal tax credit.
It does phase out.
It does phase out.
Yeah.
It does have a phase out. Yeah, I think it's based on, I think it is 200,000, but don't quote me on that. It could be off a little.
It goes to 200,000. Yeah, you're right. It is 200,000, and then after that, it does a phase out. So the next quarter would still get that same tax credit, and then the quarter after that, it would be cut in half, and then the quarter after that, it drops to a third or a quarter or something like that. So it does phase out. So some people still will benefit from some sort of a tax credit.
Yeah,
but yeah. There is one thing I wanted to clear up for one person had commented on here, and actually I wanted you to talk about this because I've had to answer this a few times on my.
Hopefully, I know the answer.
Okay, so what they asked was, they said, so I thought I already pre-ordered when I gave my $250 deposit. How will I know if I'm part of the first 5,000, and which is what I thought I selected, but I'm unsure giving tomorrow's deadlines.
Got it. So let's do this. Let's go back to this cool chart. So when you ended up reserving your Fisker Ocean, you reserved the vehicle. You didn't pre-order the vehicle. You didn't purchase the vehicle. You got in line. So that $250 deposit, if you will, was to say, hey, I'm interested in this. I want to support what you guys are doing. I want to get in line. I want to be, a Fisker Ocean owner in the future. And depending on that date you did that would determine kind of your place in line. So if I don't know who put that comment in there, if they want to tell us the date that or the month that they reserve their Fisker Ocean, we can end up looking at Ty Cook. Okay, yeah. If you're still listening, let us know while we're rapping about this, and we can end up having a look here. And we have you can search our site, the Fiskerati.com site, for I think it's like Reservation Chart, or you can go to type in investor presentation on our website. This is like slide number, slide number 20 or something like that. Or we have a post probably on the homepage that has this, that talks specifically about the Fisker Ocean One and the poll that we talked about. So we talked about this poll, how many reservation holders will it take to actually fill the 5,000 Fisker Ocean pre-order? So yeah, so Ty, you unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, got in line to purchase a Fisker Ocean. Depending on when you got in line will determine if you're eligible for the Fisker Ocean One or not. If you were early reserving your Fisker Ocean, so say you reserved in April of 2020, you would have a really good shot, if not, a guaranteed shot at purchasing a Fisker Ocean. If you reserved, say, in December 2020, you would have been reservation holder 10,000, between 9,000 and 10,000. Your odds go down a little because that it would take, 9 to 10,000 people to say, some of those 9 to 10,000 people who ordered before, who reserved before you may say, yeah, I want the Fisker Ocean One, or some might say, I might not want the Fisker Ocean One. So some people might have joined us a little late. We talked, I don't know about this earlier, but Fisker ended up making the announcement about the Fisker Ocean One in November of 2021 when they ended up doing the reveal. And sure, we all saw the Fisker Ocean, out and about, lots of photos on social media well ahead of that. But the actual, production intent vehicle was announced at the LA Auto Show. And that's when everybody became aware of the Fisker Ocean One and the price tag of $68,999. So there's like 18,000 people or somewhere thereabouts that didn't know about that. How many people does it take to screw in a light bulb, is the question of, similar to, how many reservation holders will it take Fisker to fill 5,000 Fisker Ocean One pre-orders? We're going to find out. It could be a few weeks. It could be, a couple of months. But as we all know, that firm November 17th, 2022 date is when we'll, seeing these Fisker Ocean Ones roll off the assembly line. MS says, I'm more worried about more of 40,000, cutoff. I got in line on 322 maybe of this year. Yeah. Year. Oh, 323. So March 23rd of 2022. Do you guys think I made the cutoff? You certainly didn't make the cutoff for the Ocean One, but that's not your question. Your question, I think, is more along the lines of like, are you going to get locked in price? Yeah. Fisker ended up bringing this up on the investor call on June 2nd-ish. I don't know, somewhere in early June. And then also at the Deutsche Bank conference. They're going to try to keep the price firm for all of 2023. Which means that people who are earlier reservation holders will have a much more likely chance of sticking to the published prices that are out there today. Fisker, Extreme in the Ocean, we know $68,999. We know the Ultras, I want to say $49,999. And then you have the Sport, which is $37,499. So as long as Fisker produces the vehicle that you want in 2023 and you're able to take delivery of it, then your price should be firm. It should be somewhere in the ballpark, if not what Fisker is currently published. Fisker said that they're going to end up trying to keep the prices very, keep them down as much as they can. And they're going to try to do that through their asset light business model. So they have certain ways to, reduce costs that some of these legacy manufacturers can't. So yeah, time will tell. We don't work for the company. We don't have a real crystal ball. So we can't tell you for sure. But all we can say is stay tuned. We'll go ahead and keep releasing more information as we have it. And we want to be the ultimate source for you for all your Fisker Ocean news and maybe even your EV news. I think we just started posting some stuff. We ended up in the Fiskerati forums. We started posting other EV content down below. So if you want to talk about, I know Jim posted a few videos down there to get the ball rolling, but we have one for Ford, we have one for Tesla, we have one for Kia, and a handful of other auto manufacturers. So yeah, if you have a car that you like and it doesn't happen to be Fisker related, feel free to post it on the Fiskerati forums down below. And chat about it, and we're here to learn from one another. Is why we're doing this. So
yeah, I wanted to touch on Todd Malone was asking about the range loss on the tire size on the 22-inch option. They haven't really said with their range whether that is with the 20 or the 22s. They really haven't made that statement. So I don't really know, but from other videos that I have seen when they have compared cars and trucks that had two different wheel sizes, the range loss is maybe 10 miles at most. So I wouldn't be too concerned if you just like the looks of the 22-inch wheels anyway. You're getting 350 miles if you're getting one of either the Ultra or the Extreme. So 10 miles, wouldn't be a concern. But if you were getting the 250 range Sport, now that I probably would go with the smaller wheels just to make sure that you were able to maintain that range.
Yeah, so talking about wheels and things like that, let me throw this graphic up here, Jim. So Fisker on their Ocean One page, so if we go to this page, I scroll up to the top, they actually said down here on the 22-inch F3 Slipstream wheels, there's a little section down here, which I can't highlight because there you go. That's kind of like a bad highlighting. This HTML here, or whatever on the screen is not. It's got some crazy, toggle thing here. But they say here, 22-inch wheel options, rarities on most other vehicles, are designed by Fisker for, and here's the part that I wanted to call out, aerodynamic performance and a powerful presence. So the aerodynamic performance, that may actually help. So like when Fisker published the ranges, and they're not like, I don't know if it's EPA certified or what it is, but I don't think the EPA has technically evaluated the range
not yet
to come. But Fisker published the 350 miles, and in some things that Fisker has on their site, so on the Ocean page, if you download their PDF, it actually says 350 plus for the Fisker Ocean One and Extreme. So Fisker knows that they're going to be giving people on the Extreme and the Ocean One the 22-inch wheel option.
Right.
So if they're saying, hey, this 22-inch wheel option is going to give 350 miles, or in some cases 350 plus miles, well, maybe that answers our question. Like it won't have any loss potentially.
Right. And that plus, it may have the plus may mean you could get over that if you choose the 20-inch option.
That's true too.
So,
that's the other side of the coin there.
Yeah.
Yeah. True story. Or it might actually have to do with the solar sky roof.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Who knows? To come.
The aero wheels on there, those are made to actually cause it's strange. It's like they push air turbulence off of the wheel to push against the wind that is coming down the side of the car. So it pushes it out away from the car so that the car can slide through the air easier.
Got it. So, and they're those ones, you mean the 20-inch ones, like the ones on the screen?
Yeah, any of those. Really, a lot of the EVs, if you look at the wheels, the reason they look so crazy and they don't look like traditional wheels is because they have a way of pushing that air out away from the tire, which pushes against the air that's coming by the car. So then it just kind of pushes that air out away from the side of the car and helps it slide through the air better.
Got it. So here's the other option for the, so Fisker actually said on that page that I had up earlier, they actually said for the Fisker Ocean One, people who pre-order that, they're going to actually have a choice between the alloy, which I'm showing on the screen right now, and maybe we should do something a little bit more representative of the Fisker Ocean One. We should choose, we have our launch color. I blew this thing up, so it's like super big on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see it better. But we have our Big Sur Blue. So our launch colors, that's something we haven't talked about. So you have, so that's kind of weird. The Fisker Ocean One is going to come in Big Sur Blue. Like it hasn't said anything other than that. Like that's a launch color,
Right.
but everything is a launch color. So I was actually a little puzzled as well. Like is white, like could I get a Fisker Ocean One in white? I don't think so. I think it's going to be total Big Sur Blue, and that's it. Like you won't be able to get any of these other colors until you get.
I think so too. Blue is the only thing that I've ever heard them say.
Yeah.
It'll be an option on the other trim levels, but the only thing I've ever heard them say for the One was the Big Sur Blue.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and choose the launch edition here. Not that it matters because I think they'll look the same unless I scroll up and they've made some Easter egg. And by the way, so here we go. We have the Big Sur Blue. So this is one option you could potentially get with the exterior. We should actually make the interior as well. We should make that Malibu because it does actually change a little on the actual representation of the trim. But let's go ahead and choose the other option. So the interior now is Malibu. You have the Big Sur Blue, and now you have the black alloy, and it has the carbon fiber inserts that we talked about earlier. And you can actually see, I think they may have changed it. If you look at the wheels, you have that badge on the Fisker Ocean One that's grayed out on the wheel. So that would be, one, that's right there. That's one of your potential options. The other one was the alloy wheels right there. Your other option is to choose the air gliders. So there's your air glider with alloy. And you can actually see on this one, it's like what are those, the brakes? You can actually see like the bright blue, very visible with the air glider. And then you have the black alloy air glider. I think those are my favorite ones of all the ones that are published on the site.
Me too, except for the ones that we've seen that we don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, we don't know what they're called. Yeah, we've seen them on the Solar Orange Fisker Ocean. I mean, they might be on others, but what are those rims? We've seen a handful of rims. We've posted articles like, what are these? Are these some new special rims? Like, we think they're going to come out with some other rim options in 2023, but you have to get your current version out the door, and then you can do other stuff with other options. I think my favorite setup for this is going to be these black wheels with the Big Sur Blue. If I'm eligible for a Fisker Ocean One, I probably will go with that option. What option would you choose for the wheels? You have 4 choices with the Fisker Ocean One. You got the 22 slipstreams with that, the silver alloy, the black alloy, the air glider, silver, or the black air glider. What would you choose?
I would go with the black. I just think it looks better.
Yeah, and people may not know, but the Fisker Ocean is going to end up with some sort of option. And Henrik mentioned this at the Mobile World Congress launch, or the European debut. He said the car is going to be intelligent enough with the sensors to prevent you from scratching your wheels. He said, I really hate having a brand new car and rubbing my rim on the curb. So he said that I don't want to quote him exactly, but I could have sworn he said we have a scratch-free guarantee, but I don't think he said that. But he said something like that. I'll have to pull the clip and see, but I think that's a pretty cool feature. If you can prevent some people scratching the rims, that would be really cool. With the Tesla Model 3, it does have all the sensors around the car, but I've had many opportunities to scratch the wheels and I haven't, but I could easily scratch them. So I think it's really nice to have this feature. If 22s are big wheels, and if you end up scratching them in the first few months of owning the vehicle, you're going to be bummed out, especially if you choose the, because you're going to have a big alloy show. It's going to be silver with a bunch of black, and it's going to look ugly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know what else we have to share. We still, believe it or not, have 67 people hanging out with us. That's pretty cool. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. You don't know how much that means to us. That's really helpful for us to disseminate information, to get the word out. At Fiskerati, so youtube.com/Fiskerati. I don't know how, I think you can even, search for OSR Garage, or is it youtube.com/OSR Garage, or
it's got a weird, crazy thing behind the
Okay.
YouTube thing. But if you go into YouTube and search OSR Garage, you'll find my channel. You can also go to osrgarage.com. It'll redirect you right to my YouTube channel.
Got it. So you know what I'm going to do to help us all out here? I'm going to post for the people. I don't know if this chat, I'm going to post here. There's my YouTube channel. I'm going to pull up OSR Garages as well and throw it in there so you guys can follow our YouTube channels. And that would be super useful for all of us, so that we can all communicate, stay in touch, keep doing this video thing, and keep it going. So I think I'm all out of content, Jim, for the night. I can't think of anything else that I want to say. I'm sure I'm going to get off this and be like, oh, I wish I would have talked about that.
Yeah. And sorry for everybody who we didn't get to your questions. It's the first time we're doing this. And maybe we'll just have it. We'll do one that's just Q&A, and you guys ask us whatever you want to, and then we'll just focus on questions. But sorry if we didn't get to your questions. We'll try maybe, I haven't actually seen a live thing afterwards. Your questions might be down in the comments, and if they are, then we'll try to answer them as best.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I've done a couple of these live ones, and
Okay.
I get a bunch of comments on the screen, but they're not actually there. I think it's only live, but I think there might be a setting for that. I'll have to research that, and if it is, I'll flip it on, and then hopefully we'll see all these comments, because there's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
There's going to be 100 comments.
Yeah, I just saw Rad Giver means advisor.
There you go, advisor. I knew it was something.
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so then Eric Barnett asked 800 volt or 400 volt. From this was in my last video. From what I have heard is that the Fisker Ocean is on a 400 volt system, but they will still be able to pull 250 watts, is what it says. Or kilowatts. The Ionic 5, when I did the review on it, it actually runs on an 800 volt system. So, and the same price, the same pull on kilowatts. So,
Cool. So should we leave on that high note, or should we talk about something else? That sounded kind of a bummer. Let's do one other thing. Let's go back to the Fiskerati site real quick, and let's see how much time we have left until the Fisker Ocean One pre-orders begin. That's kind of a fun way to leave things. So we look at the screen here, and we see that there is 1 day left, 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 13 seconds. So, we killed some time tonight. We had hopefully a good chat for everybody. Hopefully everybody had fun. Hopefully everybody learned something. I'll have to review this, and I think I just did it again, but I'm going to review this video and see how many times I said but I think I did a little better tonight. And
I think like I told you, and I'm used to editing all of that out of my videos, so I don't know how things went.
You don't get to edit with this. You don't get to edit with this.
No, I don't get to edit.
But no, I had a pleasure, Jim. This was great. I look forward to doing this again.
Yeah, I did too.
I hope everyone else enjoyed it too. So thank you, everybody. I think I'm gonna remove this thing here so you can see us big on the screen. And good night from San Diego over here. And
and from Illinois.
There you go. All right.